Good Tuesday evening, everyone. If you're just now joining us, click that like button, share this with your friends and family, and comment where you're from. We're going to go over the next few days. It's going to be a very active period of severe weather. Starting, like I said, today, we've had numerous tornadoes, somewhat very strong up here in parts of Iowa today. We've had basically some towns just wiped off the map in Iowa, and it's just horrible, horrible situation up that way. So we're going to have severe weather, like I said, tonight, all the way through the weekend, and we're going to go over that here in just a second. So here's what the latest from the Storm Prediction Center as of 8 o'clock. We have a small little sliver of moderate risk up here in parts of Illinois into Wisconsin, enhanced risk down through St. Louis, all the way up through most of rest of Illinois, northern half or so up towards Wisconsin. Slight risk is bending all the way back into parts of Texas, even and through parts of Arkansas. There was just a tornado watch issue just a few minutes ago until 3 a.m. For parts of Arkansas. We'll take a look at that here in just a second. So let's take a look at tomorrow, because more significant risk is coming into parts of the South, including Texas, into southeastern Oklahoma, and through most of northern three-quarters of Arkansas. You got a enhanced risk of severe weather, even up towards southern Missouri, even for tomorrow. Okay, so the big threat tomorrow, yes, there will be a tornado threat, but it's a 5 to 9% likelihood. We don't have any of those hatched areas where significant tornadoes could possibly occur. There could be an update in the morning from the Storm Prediction Center, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. We will keep you updated, of course. But this brown area, 5 to 9% probability of a tornado within 25 miles at any given point. This is for Wednesday, basically from southeastern Missouri all the way through northern central Arkansas, down towards northeastern and central Texas, southeastern Oklahoma. That is just for Wednesday. The most significant risk tomorrow, as of right now, will be the hail. Anywhere in these hatched areas, possibility of significant hail greater than 2 inches diameter, which is basically lime-size hail across the area, across this area of Arkansas, into parts of Oklahoma, into Texas. Okay, and we don't stop there. There's going to be more severe weather as we go into Thursday. Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, into parts of Texas yet again, and all modes of severe weather will be likely that day. Going to Saturday, some of the same areas: northern Texas, northeastern Texas, southeastern Oklahoma into Arkansas. More severe weather Saturday. And then Sunday, this starts slowly get going east. More severe weather in southern Missouri, northeastern Arkansas, northern Mississippi, northwestern Alabama, through most of Tennessee and Kentucky here, far southern Indiana and Illinois. It's going to be a very busy period through the end of this week into the weekend. So you need to stay up on the weather. So now let's get into the latest here. We have tornado watches all the way up from Wisconsin through eastern Iowa, northwestern Illinois, through St. Louis area, and then all the way down into the Little Rock area. This watch here was just issued a little bit ago. This goes until 3 a.m. So it's going to be a long night across this area. We've already had tornado warnings through the Russellville area, and just north of there, we had a tornado warning in Clinton just a little bit ago. And we're going to get into the latest here in just a second. Let me turn off some of this overlay so you guys can actually see what's going on. All right, so let's start with the tornado warnings here. This is in Arkansas, Conway County, Arkansas is under a tornado warning here. Let's kind of dive in here for another 18 minutes or so. It's basically Highway 213 over to Highway 992 here, just east of Atkins, Arkansas, along I 40 here, just northwest of Conway. You're under a tornado warning at the moment. Here comes the latest scan here. You can see on this, you can see the definite hook that's coming around here. So this thing is definitely spinning, of course. So let's take a look at velocities here as well. By the way, everybody, thank you so much for joining this evening. Like I said, we've had a very nasty day up in parts of Iowa. Like I said, there's been a couple of towns just almost erased from the map. It's just unbelievable devastation up that way. But here is the circulation in Arkansas. It's a pretty broad circulation here, but this has been ongoing all the way back from Russellville. So this continues to move east. There is a little bit of rotation left up here towards just southwest of Clinton, Arkansas. This is just a severe thunderstorm warning at the moment with a tornado possible tag on that one. But look, as of right now, this is the most concerning storm in the south. That is, this one looks a little bit more interesting, especially with this little appendage just southwest of Danville in Arkansas. All this is west and northwest of Little Rock at the moment. But like I said, there is a tornado watch in parts of central and northern Arkansas that goes through 3 a.m. So, like I said, it's going to be a pretty long night. Let's go over towards Oklahoma here. Now, we do have basically a line of storms here just south of Muskogee, southwest or southeast of Tulsa. There has been a few little tornado warnings here and there, but the biggest threat earlier up here in Tulsa was hail. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning down here for just southwest of Henrietta for another few minutes, another 16 minutes or so. 60-mile-per-hour winds and some large hail that goes with it. So let's take a look, see what's going on in Missouri up here, kind of just going around, starting from south, going to north. We have a little bit of storminess going in northwest Arkansas, just north of Fayetteville, basically right around the Springdale area. This is basically some very heavy rain, some lightning, maybe some small hail with that as well. And we go up towards Missouri. We have a severe thunderstorm warning up this way, 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail. This is just north of Lebanon and south of Camdenton, just south of Lake of the Ozarks here in Missouri. And then we can go up towards Iowa, see what's going on. You can see all these counties that are kind of shaded in different colors. Well, those are power outages. Des Moines had some pretty nasty storms come through earlier. There's about almost 20,000 people out of power there. And here's where the tornado came through, just ripped through some of these counties earlier. There's almost 36%, 37% out of power in Adams County out that way. So let me go up to basically Wisconsin. There's a lot of tornado warnings up there on this line that's coming through. I don't know if we have many followers up that way, if you know anybody, but this is a nasty line of storms. Some of these storms up in Wisconsin has been moving to 70 to 80 miles per hour. That's how fast they're going. There's been a few 70-mile-per-hour reports up here with straight line winds and a few embedded tornadoes within this line. And basically just precautionary tornado warnings throughout here as little spin-up tornadoes come up just ahead of this line here. So all this will head over to the lake and probably die out because that lake is pretty cold. So it'll lose its oomph as it heads over towards Michigan. But we do have a lot of followers in Arkansas. Well, let's get back into Arkansas. Like I said, we have a tornado warning, I believe, for Conway County here. in Arkansas. This goes for another 14 minutes or so. Let's zoom in here. So Hickory Hill, Wesley Chapel, Arthur, over to Birdtown, Overcup, Hill Creek, under a tornado warning for another few minutes. And like I said, there was rotation up with this storm just north of that area. So Grave Hill, Scotland, Walnut Grove to Austin. This is all in Arkansas. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, but there is a tornado possible tag with this with 60-mile-per-hour winds as well. There has been a little bit of rotation still up that way, but this is the storm to watch. And then this one down here around Danville, especially with this little appendage that's hanging out. Curious what the velocities look like on this. There is some rotation down here, so this is something we're going to have to watch. Like I said, most of this is west and northwest of Little Rock, but we have a tornado watch that is in effect till 3 a.m. So, like I said, it's going to be a pretty long night across the area here. And this is just basically day one of a multi-day severe weather outbreak that's basically going to be centered over Oklahoma, Arkansas, and parts of Texas, basically all the way through Saturday, and then slowly moving east into Sunday. So in the United States right now, there is 16 severe thunderstorm warnings, 6 tornado warnings, and most of them are in Wisconsin, of course, along that line that's up there. Nothing observed at the moment, and like I said, we have a ton of followers in Arkansas. That's why we're kind of just sitting tight here in Conway County, Arkansas, for another 12 minutes with this tornado warning. So this radar indicated tornado at the moment. Hey Kim, I see you're watching from Tennessee. You're not going to get probably any severe weather until possibly Sunday. There might be some off and on rain, of course, and thunderstorms that way, but that's another thing we can look at here in just a second. But we're going to keep on this tornado warning here in Conway County in Arkansas. So the rotation is still there. Very broad rotation, ain't really tight, real tight yet, but Arthur to Birdtown, heads up in Springfield here, Cedar Creek, Holly Springs, over towards Twin Groves and Damascus. That's basically heads up over there, maybe even Bono. This is all in Arkansas at the moment. It's a very broad rotation up that way, and there's still some broad, really weak rotation up on this storm, just southwest of Clinton, Arkansas, down on Highway 9 towards Formosa. So, like I said, we have a ton of followers in Arkansas. So we're staying with this storm, and then we'll kind of go elsewhere here with the rest of this. You see that thing is hooked out pretty well, so that's why that rotation is still evident, and it matches up with the velocities here. So um, something to keep an eye on. You need to be in your tornado safe spots, that's for sure. This is like I said, author to Birdtown, Springfield. You're up next. Holly Springs, then over towards Greenbrier, possibly up to Damascus. This is just south of Clinton and north of Conway. And then remember that storm I was talking about down here towards Danville. We need to keep an eye on that little appendage. We're now under tornado warning here. So Danville, Plainview, over towards Casa, over to Andona, New Neely, all under tornado warning. This goes for the next 39 minutes or so. So give you a little early heads up on this one. So basically, the pennage is down here towards just southwest of Plainview, and I believe it is going east. We can take a look. So western Perry County, southwestern Conway County, northwestern Saline County, central Yell County, Arkansas till 9:30. Says this is the latest from National Weather Service. So severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located near Plainview in Yell County or near Danville, moving east at 45. So here's some locations impacted: Danville, Adona, Plainview, Nimrod, Kingston, Carter Cove Park, Casa, Ada, Wing, Rover, Cherry Hill, and like I said, this is all in parts of Perry County, Conway County, Saline County, and Yell County. This goes until 9:30. This is where the rotation is right now, basically over in this general area here, kind of away from the radar. We can probably get maybe the Fort Smith radar is a little bit closer. We can look at that, but actually it's about equal distance. But you can see it a little bit more evident here, just southwest of Plainview in Arkansas. All right, let's go back up and check this one up in Conway County, northern Conway County. Still got that rotation up here, basically around Birdtown now, and then heading towards Cedar Creek, Holly Springs. Curious if the National Weather Service will continue the tornado warning east here in just a few minutes. But severe thunderstorm warnings are gone out of Oklahoma. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning up here towards St. Louis. We can go up there. We do have some followers up that way, I know. So New Haven, Union, over towards Washington, getting really close to the radar site up here in St. Louis. So severe thunderstorm warning up here. Quarter size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Basically coming in towards Highway 50 here. They'll affect I-44 just southwest of St. Louis. Go back to these Arkansas storms because these are the ones that are a little bit more robust at the moment because they're getting out by themselves. And yes, they did continue that tornado warning. Here's a new tornado warning now. It goes for another 50 minutes. So Greenbrier over towards Guy, Twin Groves, basically from 65, just north of Conway, Greenbrier all the way up to Damascus, south side, just south of B Branch as well. Holly Springs, Rabbit Ridge, all these here are under a tornado warning now, as we still have rotation and this basically hook. You can see where this is hooking back here, so that's where the rotation will be. Like I said, Greenbrier up to Twin Groves, basically Highway 65, all the way up towards B Branch is under a tornado warning right now for another 50 minutes. All right, let's go check back on this storm. Just east of Danville now. Plainview is about to get in on this rotation here. So hopefully everybody's in their tornado shelters. Here's the rotation here, right around just southwest of Plainview in Arkansas. This is going towards, they said, Casa, Nimrod, over towards Cherry Hill. Next few minutes, let's bring up some back on this storm in Greenbrier. There's a little bit more people over this way. So southeastern Van Buren County, southwestern Claiborne County, northeastern Conway County, northwestern Faulkner County until 9:45. So Greenbrier, Guy, Twin Groves, Springfield, Woolly Hollow State Park, Cedar or Center Ridge, Damascus, Bethlehem, Whipple, Catholic Point, Middleton, Birdtown, and Martinville. There's some of the towns that are included in this latest tornado warning in Arkansas. So Jacksonville, Arkansas. This is a storm that you need to watch. This is a ways away, but this is the one that's tornado warned. This keeps going. It's going to head into the metro probably in the next hour and a half to hour and 45 minutes or so. So we'll just have to play it by ear. This thing is starting to really get a hook on it back here in parts of this county here, just east of Danville and basically right over Plainview towards Ward's Crossing at the moment. I can see how fast this thing's going and kind of do a track on it. Just a second. It's moving east at 45. That's not what I want. All right, so Plainview impact times: Plainview 4 minutes, Bertha 16 minutes, Nimrod 19 minutes, Cherry Hill 35. We go towards we get towards Little Rock here. North Point's in about an hour if this holds together. Pinnacle about 64 minutes, Conway 66 minutes, Mayflower in 68. And I'm trying to see Sylvan Hills in about 83 minutes, North Little Rock in about 84 minutes. So about an hour, hour and a half or so until it hits the metro. But Sherwood 85 minutes, Jacksonville 90 minutes. Total population in the path of this is about 275,000 people if this holds together. So early heads up across the metro and Little Rock on this storm that's basically over parts of this county here. Plainview over towards Ward's Crossing in Arkansas. Like I said, next up is going to be Nimrod to Forks Junction, Hollis, and then over towards West Appleton. So this would be the storm that would go into parts of the metro here. So this is the one we need to watch over the next hour to hour and a half. Memphis, you may get some storms tonight, but these storms may wind down before they get to you, but we'll see how that plays out. Go back up here to this Greenbrier storm. Like I said, these are the most robust storms right now across the area. So we're kind of sticking with those. This is coming into a lot of population here, especially this storm as it moves east. We'll get into parts of Little Rock and North Little Rock over towards Jacksonville, Cabot, and even possibly Conway over the next hour, hour and a half if this holds together. All right, let's go back up to this storm. Let's look at velocities on this. See, this one up here is looking a little bit more impressive than the one down towards the southwest. So just west of Greenbrier, over here towards Springfield, over towards Bono. This is where the rotation is right now. Pretty broad rotation. Nothing really tightening up at the moment, but still, it's still showing signs of rotation. So you need to get in your tornado safe spot. If you don't have a basement, you need to be in an interior room of your house, away from any windows, outside walls. The more walls you have between you and the outside, the better. So interior room of your house, if you have a wouldn't hurt to just just in case, better safe than sorry kind of thing. If you have a baseball helmet, football helmet, put it on. Protect your head in these situations, just in case this tornado wants to come down and start producing here. So Greenbrier all the way up to I believe South Side on 65, all the way up to Damascus as well, under a tornado warning for another 43 minutes. If this held together, you would be basically next up would be Mount Vernon, Rosebud, maybe just south of Heber Springs over towards Searcy, even probably in the next hour or hour and 20 minutes or so. Both these are still radar indicated. Nothing's down as of yet. There's no reports of that. But like I said, this rotation up here, just north of Conway, is looking more impressive than the one out here. But still, this one has rotation with it as well. So we need to get into our tornado safe spots. Both these have a pretty decent hook on them, and this one back here, this latest scan, just set this 2 seconds ago, is really looks like it's tightening up to me on at least on on the reflectivity that is. So Perry County Weather Watchers has a camera. You can see some lightning up that way. 82 degrees, dew point 75, just ahead of this storm. All right, so counties in Arkansas: Yell, Perry, Conway, and Saline County in Arkansas under tornado warning, and then Southern Conway, Faulkner, Western Faulkner County, and then Van Buren County in Arkansas under another tornado warning as well. So there's the counties as of right now. So Holly Springs over to Republican. You'll be up next with this possible rotation. Basically, it's between Springfield and Bono at the moment. That's where the rotation is. It's slowly, or it's moving east. It'll be towards the Greenbrier in the next few minutes. So the backside of this rotation, I think it's probably about 3,000 feet up into above the surface here. You got about a 40, 50 mile per hour wind, but out ahead of this, you have almost 60 mile per hour wind. So there's rotation here. It's very broad and weak at the moment, but you're still going to get some high winds with this in this area. So Greenbrier, you may get up to 60 mile per hour winds here pretty soon. Go back, check on the St. Louis storm really quick, see if there's any updates on it. Basically, just the same 60 mile per hour winds up that way. There we go. I lost my radar sight. Sorry about that. All right, there's the latest scan. This thing is looks like it's trying to hook. I mean, really hook up back here towards just south of Ola. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Back here by Plainview to Ola, basically that's where the hook is happening. Then back here towards like I said, Greenbrier, up towards Damascus, the south side. You're basically up next here with this possible rotation coming in. And this is actually getting a little bit more organized as we go forward. So the rotation is getting a little bit more better organized here just west of Greenbrier. So, like I said, you need to be in your tornado shelters if you're out this way. Or if you know anybody this way, you need to let them know what's happening. Because Green, like I said, you're this is going to come. It's basically rotations right over Bono right now, and then Republican to Soda Valley to Greenbrier's up next over the next few minutes. Here's this rotation back here just south of Ola on Highway 60. These are two the main threat storms right now in Arkansas. We can go back here towards Oklahoma. There's really just a line of storms here. They're not warned. Maybe some gusty winds up to 40, 50 miles per hour. Some small hail. We still have that little storm up here towards just northwest of Fayette or northeast of Fayetteville, and southeast or southwest of Eureka Springs. Basically, a little line of storms. You can see where that kind of dry line front is, just northwest of north of Springfield. Here, you can see that pretty definitively on radar here. So we do have some storms down here towards just southwest of Dallas. There's one lone storm down here, ping pong size hail down here in parts of Texas. We're talking just southwest or southeast of Brownwood towards Mullen. This goes for another 50 minutes. So 60-mile-per-hour winds and ping pong ball size hail. Basically, the only storm around down this way. All right, let's check on this Greenbrier storm. Like I said, it's starting to get windy on the west side of town in Greenbrier. Just a big broad rotation coming in just east of Bono now, heading towards Greenbrier, Soda Valley, and Republican in Arkansas. I think this thing's got some bigger hail in it. You can see that where the radar beam kind of scatters out. You can see it go all the way up here. I think this storm is actually going to have some bigger hail in it than what is depicted. So you maybe a little bit hot, maybe a little bit bigger than 1 inch hail, but there's going to be some bigger hail come down with this one for sure. Still some rotation just south of Ola here in Arkansas, west of Nimrod. Just west of Perryville as well. But Perryville over towards, if this holds together, it'd be Perryville to Mayflower and heading towards the metro if this holds together. It's kind of out there by itself, so we'll have to really watch that one. But this is the one that has the better rotation on it at the moment. Up here, like I said, just west of Greenbrier. It's probably getting pretty windy as we get into town now. But between Bono and Greenbrier, that's where the rotation is at the moment. Here's the latest velocity scan, and the rotation's still there. It's just not as tight as it was a few frames ago, but it's still big broad rotation across this county, or just right around Greenbrier now. Just now joining us, there's a couple of tornado warnings here in Arkansas, Faulkner, Conway, Van Buren County, Yale, Perry, Conway, and Saline County in Arkansas. There are tornado warnings right now. I don't know if you've been following the weather most of the day, y'all, but there was some big tornadoes up in Iowa. There was a couple towns that were just absolutely just devastated, major damage. I mean, it's just devastating news up that way. Iowa's been rocked this year. After today, they're probably going to be approaching over 100 tornadoes so far this year, just in that state alone. So both these storms still radar indicated. No real ground reports on these or anything like that. Just pretty broad rotation at the moment. So there's getting some pretty decent winds in around Greenbrier at the moment. Probably some 40, 50 plus mile per hour winds heading into Greenbrier, into Soda Valley here in just a few minutes here. It's that broad rotation between Bono and Greenbrier at the moment. There is some just real light rotation back here towards basically just north of Porch Junction. So it's something we got to watch this way as it gets closer to radar here. 'Cause this is pretty hilly terrain out this way. So if you're just now joining us, we have a few tornado warnings here in Arkansas. One's around Greenbrier up towards Damascus on Highway 65 here. Broad rotation, but some pretty heavy winds coming into Greenbrier to Soda Valley at the moment. And this is where the rotation will be. It's basically going to be heading right over Greenbrier here any minute. And the tornado warning that was out here, they expired that one. This one's kind of lost its punch. So that's good news as it heads slowly towards the metro. But this could spin back up anytime. So he's got to watch it. But so this is the lone storm here. That's the most impressive. Heading into Greenbrier now is a big hook on this one. So the rotation is going to be right in here, right around Greenbrier, just north of there, towards coming in towards Soda Valley, and then the 2565 junction as well. All right, this rotations is coming into just north of Greenbrier, like I said, into Soda Valley. So further east here, there's a severe thunderstorm warning now out for Mount Vernon over towards Romance Rosebud. This is all in Arkansas. Tornado possible tag with this, so we're just gonna have to keep watching this as well as it goes east. Yeah, this storm out just west of the metro in Little Rock. This thing is really falling apart, so that's good news there. There's some storms trying to develop down south here, so we're gonna have to watch these down towards Daisy and Dirks. And then just west of St. Louis, there's a severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds coming into possible Gray Summit towards Union as well. This will be getting into parts of St. Louis here right in the next hour. And then most of the warnings now are up towards parts of Wisconsin. You can see there's a lot of power outages out towards Iowa, where there's lots of tornadoes out that way today. So they've let National Weather Service drop the tornado warning now for Arkansas. This is just a severe thunderstorm warning now for Greenbrier over towards Rosebud to Hopewell to Mount Vernon. Arkansas still has a tornado possible tag on it as things trying to hook out just a little bit. So we'll kind of stick with this storm just for a little bit longer. And then we'll go over future radar here in just a second. We'll go over tomorrow's severe weather again, as the enhanced risk will cover most of Arkansas tomorrow down into Texas and southeastern Oklahoma. All right, so you're joining us. There was some tornado warnings here in Arkansas, just northwest of Little Rock and west of Little Rock, but those have expired or they've dropped, or the National Weather Service dropped them. There's still some rotation with this storm up towards Greenbrier here. Some very broad rotation with this storm, and starting it's out ahead of this. It's got some pretty decent winds that's going to come into parts of Barney over towards Mount Vernon, Cedarville here shortly. Some 55 to possibly 60-mile-per-hour winds coming um, in that area over the next few minutes. So Centerville, like I said, over towards Barney, Mount Vernon, and then over towards Romance. Probably going to get 50 to 60-mile-per-hour winds in the next 20, 30 minutes. Still a tornado possible tag with this one. You got this severe thunderstorm warning that's starting to head into West St. Louis now. So some 60-mile-per-hour winds coming in there. And let's go to the Springfield site. There, you can see where this dry line cold front kind of where that's at the moment. So there is some little tiny embedded storms here and there, just along and north of I-44. These are slowly move south and east. There is a storm. Well, basically, it was a storm. It's weakening pretty rapidly here in northwest Arkansas. So this kind of tells me kind of where the severe weather is going to be possibly tomorrow because of this front. That's basically this dry line front, basically coming slowly south here into Missouri. So I think the severe weather threat tomorrow is a good bet in that area, and we'll go over that. Let me pull that up for you guys. Give me just a second. Alrighty. All right, so here is Wednesday. So basically from southern Missouri over towards just north of Memphis here, down through northern Arkansas, in through Little Rock to Dallas, to southeastern Oklahoma. This is where the risk is for tomorrow. And I showed you where that dry line front is, basically along the I-44 corridor. And some of these storms that were in northern Arkansas are dissipating. So that kind of gives me more feedback on where this severe weather is going to basically end up tomorrow. Unless we get some more storms fire and that front dry line basically heads further into northern Arkansas. But this is a good bet for tomorrow for big hail, basically upwards of 2 inches in diameter or higher, and some straight line winds and possibly a few tornadoes. This is for Wednesday, and then it doesn't stop there. So here's a severe hail for tomorrow. Like I said, most of northwestern half of Arkansas. Anytime there's a hatched area, you have a possibility of significant hail in excess of 2 inches in diameter, which is uh, lime size hail. So possibly lime size to maybe baseball size hail in some of these storms tomorrow. And the tornado threat, like I said, is there 5 to 9%, basically from San Angelo to Dallas, Little Rock to Jonesboro to northern Arkansas to basically Conway to Russellville, Clinton. So this is going to be basically day 2 of the severe weather that's coming into the area. Then we go into Thursday, more severe weather. Parts of southern or southeastern Kansas into southwestern Missouri, most of Arkansas, through Dallas, northeastern Texas, and through most of the eastern three quarters of Oklahoma. A slight risk on that day. And then Friday, a little break. And then Saturday, here we go again. Dallas to Little Rock to Fort Smith and just right around the Fayetteville area. More severe weather there. And then this will slowly start heading east as we go into Sunday. This will include the Paducah area, Nashville to Louisville, Memphis, Little Rock area again, Jonesboro to Springfield, Missouri. So a prolonged severe weather event. And there's going to be a lot of rain come with this as well. And we can look at that. Let me get that pulled up here in just a second. We start getting a little bit of some activity starting to pull up here, just right around Cherokee Village, to right around Mountain View as well. So there is a little bit of development that's trying to happen. But this storm was pretty decent back here in Oklahoma. That hit was going into northwest Arkansas, and now it's just barely a little blip on radar. So um, more severe weather tomorrow, of course. And remember, I think it was a couple nights ago when we had those nasty straight line winds through the Wichita area. There is still people out of power just north of Wichita. There's still almost 1,200 people out of power. So they've been out of power for days up here in parts of Kansas. All right, let's go into future radar here. Everything looks to be kind of dying down now. We do still have a tornado watch in parts of Arkansas until 3 a.m. But all these storms, if you know anybody up in Wisconsin, all these storms up here, basically these tornado warnings are out ahead of this line here. There's going to be a little spin ups out ahead of this. But as soon as this line gets over the lake, it's going to die out. Because this water temperature is not conducive of this severe weather. So it'll start dying these storms out. And then maybe some general thunderstorms and rain out towards western parts of lower Michigan here. But lots of tornadoes today in Iowa. Like I said, there's a couple of towns that were just basically wiped off the map. I think it was Greenfield. Uh, Major tornado came right through the center of town, just ripped up that town earlier today. It was just very nasty. And some tornadoes went just north of Des Moines as well, ripped up some stuff. That's just not good news for that part of the area. Like I said, Iowa's been very hard hit this year. They're probably after today, they're going to have over 100 tornadoes for the year so far. And their severe weather season goes through June and into early July at times. So this storm is basically just getting this. This is starting to fall apart. So that's good news there. Velocities, there's nothing there anymore. It's just very broad rotation. There's going to be some heavier winds coming to Mount Vernon, probably 50, 55 mile per hour winds coming that way. But that's basically done. So, all right, future radar. Let's do that. And then I may let you guys go because there is nothing going on now. Thankfully, it's dying down. So, all right, latest H triple R. You see the latest here. Let me just a second. Let me load this up. So you can see how bad the H triple R is. It had widespread storms all the way through northwest Arkansas through southern Missouri, and that is not happening at all. So it had storminess come through parts of Arkansas and then head towards Little Rock towards 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll see. But the way the current radar is, I don't know. I don't know if I believe this one or not. But here's the storminess coming into parts of Arkansas and southern Missouri tomorrow. Let me broad this out just a little bit because this is where the severe weather will be tomorrow. So here's where the storms will happen as we get into later tomorrow afternoon. This is 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You see storms really developing out here towards parts of Texas. And these cells that get out by themselves will have possibility of producing tornadoes out that way. So I think this is going to be a little bit more widespread up in northern Arkansas. It just depends on where this dry line front kind of heads down into, but that thing looks like it's about to stall out. And then as we get towards tomorrow evening, big line of storms coming in through parts of just south of Dallas now. It's going to be a pretty decent wind threat, 60, 70 mile per hour winds along with hail. And then individual storms up here in northern Arkansas, central Arkansas tomorrow. Like I said, any storm that gets out by itself will have a chance to rotate and produce a tornado. And then as we get towards tomorrow night, this line of storm looks like it's going to head into southern Arkansas, into parts of Louisiana, and then that dies out. And then as we head towards Thursday, more storms try to develop out here towards Oklahoma and into parts of Arkansas again. So lots of storminess over the next few days. Let's see if I can pull up the latest rainfall predictions here. All right, here's the latest from the Weather Prediction Center. This is over the next 7 days. So most of this will happen between now and Sunday, Monday. So a general 3 to 5 inches basically across southeastern Oklahoma through most of Arkansas, in through Memphis area, and through parts of Kentucky into Tennessee. So lots of rain with a lot of these storms that could be training over the same areas day after day after day. So some areas, isolated areas, could get more than this. So there's going to be a flash flooding threat as we moisten up the ground again and continuously get these heavy thunderstorms come into the area throughout this. Now, after Sunday, this looks like all this will start moving east, and we're going to get a possible ridge that builds in, and it could get hot as we head towards the end of the month. Okay, so it's going to could get pretty hot as we get towards the end of the month. So after all this rain kind of really soggies up the ground, we're going to possibly get pretty hot afterwards towards the end of the month. So lots of rain over the next few days through Sunday, and significant severe weather possible all the way through Sunday as well. So basically stay with us here. Let's take a look at the latest radar here to see if anything else has popped up. Still have that severe thunderstorm warning up here towards Greenbrier to Rosebud. See if that rotation popped back up. There's really nothing at the moment. So heavier winds coming through Barney and heading towards Mountain View and Romance over the next 20 minutes is in Arkansas. Probably 50 mile per hour winds possible, so maybe up to 60 up that way. And then we'll go up here towards St. Louis, where that severe thunderstorm warning is gone now. So this is dying out. And then, like I said, this line, you can see where this dry line cold front kind of is, and it is not moving. Let's take a look let's play it out. This is over the past few hours. It is slowly moving southeast, very slowly. And in the last few frames, it looks like it's trying to just really slow down, and it may stall out. So this will be wherever this ends up will be the focal point for more storms tomorrow. And anywhere close to this front may have a better chance at some bigger storms tomorrow as well, as you got heat and humidity building up and hitting this basically dry line cold front outflow boundary. So we'll just have to see what happens. But HRRR is doing a horrible job tonight on storm initiations. So we'll just have to play it by ear, go from there. All right. I think we're going to cut it out of here. Basically, anything we have a tornado watch out for parts of Arkansas. I can look and show you that real quick before we head out of here. So tornado watch for parts of Arkansas and goes till 3 o'clock. I do believe a lot of these western counties may get dropped. We'll see what happens. I know Springfield has dropped some of their counties now as well. This watch in southern Missouri goes for another 2 hours and 22 minutes. Do have a tornado watch all the way up through parts of Missouri here. Some of these counties will probably be dropped soon, and basically we'll be done for the day. So we'll see. Basically, all that's happening in parts of Arkansas is this cluster of storms here, and on the weakening trend. On the weakening trend, there is some storms trying to develop down here towards Hot Springs Village and just northeast of there. Some little blips here and there, so we'll have to keep an eye on those as well. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching, guys. I guess we will probably be live several times this week in regards to this severe weather. So stay safe out there, stay weather aware across this area. Like I said, multi-state, multi-day severe weather outbreaks possible all the way from now until Sunday across the area before we finally break loose of all this severe weather and probably start warming up as we head towards the end of the month. Have a great evening, everyone, and stay safe.